people, when they think of credit repair, they think of disputing bad credit.
Yes, they
Yes.
do.
So
That is the credit repair industry, pretty much, is disputing bad credit, whether it's accurate or not. Okay, so disputing bad credit is actually about the crappiest tactic that there is for three very good reasons, which I'll go over.
Now, that's a pretty bold statement because that's what everybody's doing, quote unquote, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
It is. Okay. So the first major point is that disputing accurate bad credit creates problems on the credit report that people aren't aware of. Now, most people are referred to me because they're seeking a mortgage loan, whether by a real estate agent or a loan officer or their certified public accountant. And some people have tried to dispute things themselves, or they've hired companies to dispute things. And then, of course, they're very disappointed that they've gotten terrible results. And of course, the mortgage loan officer tells me, and this is one of the reasons why it's a bad tactic, we need to get the disputes off the credit.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm going to give a little bit of history. In the summer of 2007, the credit reporting agencies, fed up with how expensive it is to investigate all of these, tens of millions of disputes every year, just guessing, went in front of a congressional committee, summer of 2007, and told Congress, look, the Fair Credit Reporting Act says that we don't have to investigate frivolous disputes. So what we're going to do is we're going to investigate a dispute on a given piece of bad credit one time. And if it comes back verified, we're not going to reinvestigate again. So people who do their own disputing or hire companies to do disputing are basically, after the first dispute, wasting their time and their money. So far, I've given part of the first reason I don't let my company use disputing tactics of accurate bad credit. Part of the first reason, and we've led into the second reason, which is that the second dispute on a given credit item results in language on the credit report disputed by consumer disputes, meets Fair Credit Reporting Act, comments like that. When that shows up on the credit, that actually results in denied loans. Because here's what happened. Back in that summer of 2007, when Congress had the three reporting agencies there, maybe the fourth one as well, they did something else, two other things. One is, the second attempt to dispute results in the comments disputed by consumer. Okay. Then that piece of credit, a collection account, something with late payments on it, whatever, is pulled out of the FICO score calculation. And the FICO scores go falsely upward. It took the giant mortgage organizations, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, over a year to figure that out. And when they figured out that they were looking at falsely high credit scores because of disputes on credit, they changed the mortgage loan underwriting software so that if there's one dispute anywhere on the credit, even if the person has 800 FICO scores, okay, that mortgage loan will not get underwritten automatically by a computer software. It gets kicked over to a human underwriter. The human underwriter doesn't know what the scores would be if the bad account was, or the disputed account was included in the credit scores. So initially they just started denying loans. You can probably still find newspaper articles about that. I think it was fall, maybe September of 2008. Okay, so what really happens is the human loan underwriter says, come on, loan officer, you know that I can't have any disputes on the credit report, get them off. So the loan officer gets the dispute off the credit report and the scores drop to where they should have been.
Wow.
Okay, so that's reason number two why we don't use disputing tactics. A, it works poorly. B, it creates mortgage loan problems that basically can't be solved and take extra time to solve because you wind up with the credit score you deserve.
Right.
and your mortgage loan's still declining.
Right.
Okay. But the third reason that we don't dispute accurate bad credit on behalf of clients is this: it's illegal. And despite what any credit repair company says to the contrary, oh, you have the right to dispute, you have the right to dispute, it's right there in the Fair Credit Reporting Act. No, it's not. There's a second law called the Consumer Credit Protection Act, which makes it more clear than the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And that law says you have a right to dispute inaccurate information in your credit report by contacting the credit bureau directly. However, neither you, the consumer, neither you nor any credit repair company or credit repair organization has the right to have accurate, current, and verifiable information removed from your credit report, end quote. That's the law. And every credit repair company or organization or person, including myself, has to give this disclosure to the consumer by federal law. So how can a credit repair company claim that the consumer has the right to dispute anything and everything on their credit report when they have to give that same consumer this law, which says that they don't have such a right? Okay, so reason one, that we don't dispute accurate bad credit, and I'll never let my company do that. Reason number one, it's a crappy tactic. It doesn't work, or rarely works. Reason number two is the second dispute attempt prevents the mortgage loans, and most of our clients are people seeking mortgage loans. And the third reason is it's against the law. Okay, and don't even take my word for it. I've now asked about 11 consumer credit attorneys, and 11 out of 11 consumer credit attorneys agree with my reading of the law. And those lawyers are right. And the law is what it is. So disputing is basically a crappy tactic, prevents mortgage loans, and is illegal.
So what do I do?
See if I'll accept your case is what you do. We rocket credit scores with tactics that work. Many of them I've made up myself. And the truth is, I'm pretty constantly experimenting with new tactics. And we are currently, right now as this video is being shot, and that will probably be true for many, many years to come. Because the credit reporting agencies change things, the FICO score changes a little bit or a lot from time to time. So, tactics and counter tactics constantly have to be evaluated for what's going to replace a tactic that no longer works, or how are we going to make this better and get better FICO score results in every case. We want the results.
Right. And with things, changing around, though, you are still looking to get the permanent results.
Well, that's the major point, is that the FICO score increases need to be permanent. And by permanent, of course, is meant no new bad credit on the credit report, and no charging up of credit cards to, large amounts. But yeah, the results are permanent so long as the client is a good boy or girl.